What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here to mock draft Monday. Today, I am drafting from the 12 spot normal league format, half point PPR. Just did a mock draft from the 101, so if you want to check that one out, it's the previous video. Drop mock drafts every Monday, so hit that subscribe button on the channel, guys. Bringing a ton of content your way, just more and more and more as the season approaches. We're really going to start getting things fired up post Memorial Day, so get ready for that. Okay, so the draft starts off. We go Christian McCaffrey, Justin Jefferson, Austin Eckler, Jahmyr Chase, Saquon Barkley, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall. So let's take a look at who is still available. At running back, our top options are Josh Jacobs, Nick Chubb, Tony Pollard. And wide receiver, we got Stefon Diggs, Devontae Adams, and CD Lamb. Kelce is definitely a tempting pick here as well, and I think I'm going to take kind of a hot start. I don't know if most people would start their draft this way. Give me Travis Kelce. I'll take the advantage at the tight end position over everybody else, and then give me Stefon Diggs. I think he is just as safe as it comes, basically. I get that wide receiver one. A little bit lower on Devontae than Stefon just right now, just with all the stuff that's going on with Devontae, him criticizing the offense, stuff like that. I do think it's a slight downgrade for him just switching to Jimmy Garoppolo because we saw him get hyper targeted by Derek Carr and they had that established connection already. But I am still in on him. Let's take a look at the guys that are available here. I'm actually going to double up on RB here. I'm going to take J.K. Dobbins, and I'm going to take Jahmyr Gibbs. I like Dobbins a lot in this year removed from the ACL injury. He looked good at the end of last year. I started to look even better this year. Jahmyr Gibbs, 12th overall pick, a ton of draft capital spent on him, and I expect him to catch a lot of passes in a good Detroit Lions offense. Taking a look at who's still available on the board right now, wide receivers are really dried out. Might try kind of a shotgun approach on that a little bit later. I think right here I'm going to take, I do like Pacheco and Swift. So that's a tough one for me. Maybe I double up on both of them and see if I can get a quarterback a little bit later. You know what? We're going to do that. It's a mock draft. You got to take shots at these RB positions. I'll take a shot on the guy I think could be the starter for Kansas City. I think he probably will be. And I'll take DeAndre Swift, who I think will be the most productive back for Philly when it's all said and done. And that's a great offense, and he's a very talented runner. Okay, so I tried to take the chance on waiting for the quarterbacks. As you can see, that didn't really work out for me. No, thank you. Taking a look at who's still available. I do like Pickens. I like Jackson Smith-Njigba. Quarterbacks, I'm just going to continue to wait, I think, at this point. Let me get Pickens, year two breakout. I think he has a good connection with Kenny Pickett. I think he'll get a lot more targets this year than he got last year. I think he's very talented. I think he can go as far as Kenny Pickett can take him. I think that will be the only limiting thing for him. Taking a look at who's still available. For me right now, it's between Kadarius Toney and Jackson Smith-Njigba. I'll take Kadarius Toney. Just think he's in a little bit of a higher peak offense, maybe, is how I would describe it. Okay, taking a look at who's still available. There's still a quarterback who I am fine just letting drop and drop and drop, and I'll snag him at a later time. And then taking a look at who's still available. You know what? I will snag Allen Lazard here. I think he could be the number 2 for the New York Jets with Aaron Rodgers. He already has an established connection. I think he could be a really solid starter. Kind of put up similar numbers to what he saw last year, where he was really consistent, either scoring a touchdown or having a lot of yards in most of his games. Just a guy you can roll out there with consistency and have confidence in. Taking a look at the rest of this roster, I'll take Jeff Wilson. It's between Jeff Wilson Jr. for me right now and Tyler Algier. Round 10, neither of them have a ton of upside, so it's not the end of the world. I will say if I hadn't drafted a tight end right now, the fact that Evan Ingram's still on the board in round 10, I would like that. I think he's going to be a solid contributor at the tight end position each and every week. So I think he's valuable there. You know what? Let me take Jeff Wilson Jr. and just hope that he is, the guy there. They obviously drafted A-Chain as well. They've got some guys brought in. Okay, I'm going to take this guy here, Geno Smith, with the additions that they've made to that offense, with all the weapons surrounding him. He was 5th in the league in touchdown passes last year. I just really think that, he could have a very similar year last year, if not better, with Jackson Smith-Njigba now in the slot, Tyler Lockett And DK outside, they drafted Jack Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker in the backfield. Just a lot of talent around him, and so I like that for him. Taking a look at who's still out there, I'll take the shot on Odell Beckham Jr. here, being a year removed from that injury, getting some time to actually heal. I think that does bode well for him for fantasy. And taking a look at our roster right now, you can see how it's shaping up. I really like a lot of the depth we've got in this team, and I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers from the Jets. I just think he's another guy who has a ton of upside to him. Was tempted to take Kirk Cousins there as well, I'm not going to lie, but doubling up on those two QBs, I feel like with Geno and Rodgers, I'll be able to find somebody, and they both have good weapons around them, and I get that stack with Lazard. That was kind of tiebreaker for me between him and Cousins. I do think Cousins, though, you can book it for a good amount of, 4,000, 4,500 yards. He's going to do that. So higher ceiling maybe, or higher floor maybe for Cousins, but I think Rodgers has a potentially higher ceiling. So I'm going to take him. Although Kirk Cousins, this is why you can wait on quarterback. You could easily take Kirk Cousins here in round 14, start him each and every week, basically, and be happy with him and then stream him on, a prime time tough matchup here and there. Taking a look at who's still available out there, there's a few guys that I am interested in. It's tough because, you know what? I will take the shot on Sky Moore here. I'm not all that invested in Sky Moore, to be honest with you. But, you know what? Actually, let me see this guy's still on the board. I'll draft Rashee Rice. He was a second-round pick for the Chiefs this year, and I just think he has a lot of talent. I really liked him. My note for him when I watched this film was if he runs a good 40, the sky's the limit. He ran a 4.5, which is not bad for a wide receiver, and then he went to the Kansas City Chiefs after working out with Mahomes. I think there's something to that, and I want to take the shot on him in the last round for that upside. Let's review the team. So at quarterback, I've got Geno Smith. We got J.K. Dobbins, Jahmyr Gibbs, Stefon Diggs, George Pickens, Travis Kelce, Isaiah Pacheco. And then on the bench, we got DeAndre Swift, Kadarius Toney, Alan Lazard, Jeff Wilson Jr., Odell Beckham, Aaron Rodgers, and Rashee Rice. Weakness of this team is probably Pickens as my wide receiver 2. Understandable. When you draft Kelce, you're always going to have, kind of a weak spot, and I'm fine having a wide receiver, especially when I took a lot of upside guys like Toney. I think it has a lot of upside. I think Lazard, you can kind of roll out there every single week and be kind of happy with. Odell, I think he's got some upside. Same thing with Rashee Rice. So I think we can find somebody amongst those guys that could be a real big-time contributor or trade one of our running backs who pops and get somebody like that. But I do like this team, especially for drafting on the 12 spot. I like the running backs and wide and receiving options we were able to get with those top 4 picks quite a bit. And I like waiting on quarterback if you can get somebody like Geno and Rodgers late. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I respond to all comments. Thank you guys so much for being here and watching this video. I cannot wait to drop more, and this fantasy season is going to be so much fun.